Okay, so when I say the word narcissist, what's the first image that pops into your head? I'm guessing it's pretty specific. But what if I told you that's only half the story? It turns out narcissism is way more complex, and it exists on a spectrum that's often a lot more subtle than you'd think. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle that stereotype we all know so well. Then, we're going to uncover the two very different faces of narcissism. After that, we'll get into the science of what a narcissist might actually look like, how it all plays out online, and finally, wrap up with why understanding this whole spectrum is so important. All right, let's dive right into section 1 and talk about the image that we all have in our heads, the classic textbook narcissist. So just take a second and really think about it. If you had to describe a narcissist, what would you say? What do they look like? What do they sound like? Yeah. Most of us immediately picture this person, right? Someone who's super boastful, kind of arrogant, and just will not stop talking about how great they are. They're the ones who will literally say things like, "I'm the best." They are loud, they are proud, and they make absolutely sure everyone in the room knows it. This is what we call the classic overt narcissist. But that is just one side of the coin. What about the narcissist you don't see coming? This is where we get into the two faces of narcissism. The obvious overt type, and its much sneakier counterpart, the covert narcissist. And this is where things get really fascinating. You see, while the overt narcissist is loud and grandiose, the covert type looks like the total opposite, at least on the surface. They might seem kind of shy, insecure, even self-deprecating. But don't let that fool you. Their goal is exactly the same, to manipulate you and get that sweet attention. They just use victimhood to get it. So how do they get that attention? Well, an overt narcissist will just brag. "Hey, look at my new car. You have to see my amazing vacation photos." They want you to be impressed. A covert narcissist, though, they'll kind of guilt you into giving them attention. They'll say things like, "Nobody ever remembers my birthday. I feel so lonely." And that pulls you in by making you feel sorry for them. See the difference? This same pattern pops up when you look at entitlement. The overt type is just direct. They'll cut in line, they'll take the last slice of pizza, because in their minds, I deserve this. The covert type, again, is way more manipulative. They frame their entitlement as suffering. They'll say things like, "No one ever appreciates how hard I work," which makes you want to give them what they feel they deserve. And their emotional expression, it's another dead giveaway. The overt narcissist is explosive. We're talking loud anger, public put-downs, just pure rage. But the covert narcissist, oh, they are the absolute masters of passive aggression. They'll use this silent treatment, guilt trips,